Voter education nonprofits had to build up operations after Election Day when the closely watched Georgia Senate contest proceeded to a runoff. Finding fresh canvassers and enlisting new volunteers is not enough. It also says, find new money, according to Kendra Cotton, CEO of the New Georgia Project, which was started by Stacey Abrams, a Democrat who lost her bid for governor of the state last month. The project aimed to generate $1 million for voter protection at the polls, runoff information, and assistance with where and how to vote via phone banking and text banking. They have raised $797,000 as of Monday. She claimed that many people are unaware that their political contributions do not spread and that grassroots nonprofits are unable to support politicians or engage with campaigns. However, the group feels that their efforts are crucial in this situation in particular. Many voters are unaware that there would be a runoff and are unsure of their eligibility, according to Cotton. Then they're like, what the hell? Canvassers will respond, yes, ma'am, or yes, sir, you might have previously voted on November 8th, but there is another election on December 6th. With whom? Cotton remarked. The executive director of Asian Americans Advancing Justice Atlanta, Fang Nguyen, a civil rights lawyer, said the group focuses on high-potential, low-propensity voters, particularly in Asian American and Latino neighborhoods. Other grassroots organizations are also engaged in voter education. Nguyen, whose sister Bing Nguyen was the Democratic candidate for Secretary of State in Georgia, stated, "We will be knocking on doors, we'll be texting, we'll be phone banking, and we'll be performing election protection." Brad Raffensperger, the current Republican Secretary of State, won re-election in that contest. In addition, interpreters are available at polling places in 10 counties, including 5 in the Atlanta region, thanks to Asian Americans Advancing Justice Atlanta. According to senior advisor Amy Dominguez-Arms, the project is a component of the SPLC's effort to bring about racial justice in the South. According to nonprofit news site Candid, donations to SPLC increased by more than twofold between 2016 and 2017, the year Donald Trump was elected president, from $58 million to $136 million. The 2 months leading up to Election Day are frequently when tax-exempt nonprofits that engage in nonpartisan voter registration or mobilization receive the majority of philanthropic funding, but this support is ongoing. Democracy participation doesn't just occur at election time, according to Dominguez-Arms. Major philanthropic conveners like the Funders Committee for Civic Participation are urging donors to delink their funding from the political calendar if they want to support civic engagement or democracy portfolios. Even though Democratic control of the Senate has already been decided, political donations that are not tax-deductible are also coming into the Georgia runoff. Nonpartisan voter registration and mobilization, as well as activities like educating people about the voting process, developing candidate questionnaires, and supporting or opposing ballot items are all permitted under the IRS regulations that govern nonprofit activity. It is forbidden for nonprofit organizations to lend any kind of support to political campaigns, including financial contributions, resource sharing, and verbal or written endorsements. While his organization hasn't noticed a rise in donations around the midterm elections, Lawson Bader, President and Chief Executive Officer of Donors Trust, said he wouldn't be surprised if there was more interest in making elections more effective. Donors Trust's mission is to protect the charitable intentions of self-described conservative and libertarian donors. He said it's concerning that anger over the power of money in politics has seeped into nonpartisan work from the realm of political action committees and 501(c) for organizations whose work is not tax-exempt. On Election Day this year, her organization began recruiting potential poll workers, and it is still doing so for the Georgia runoff. Less than 3 weeks remain for voters to get and submit their absentee votes, and there will be at least 5 days of early voting during the final week of November. That's a brief window of time, Spillane noted. Georgia voters will need to appear at the polling places, Spillane said. And in a vote like that, it is crucial to ensure that they are incredibly well staffed and that there are no gaps or polling place closures. Given the diversity of races, languages, and migration histories that influence people's worldviews, she said, political affiliations differ among the populations that Nguyen's organization serves. She continued, it's clearly a nonpartisan issue to want every Georgian and every qualified voter to be able to access the ballot. It really could be that the individual is voting for anyone while we're out there conducting nonpartisan voter registration and turning out the vote.